record, and we are set to go. Welcome everyone to Bulk Nation episode 2. Today I have with me the up and coming YouTube star Sinan, the Sinan B.
One and only.
In my top left corner we have not the 8-time Mr. Olympia champion, but close to it, Mr. Big Ron Coleman,
Yeah,
or
zero.
my buddy Taylor.
What up with
And then some say we live on planet Earth. I say we live on Joe's girth, Mr. Joe himself. No Tyler today. He was in the first episode. He's not going to be in this
He's
episode.
having technical difficulties.
If you watch the first episode, you will notice that he doesn't talk. And yeah, we're trying to get him back into the talk show scene, but that's besides the point. Today's episode is about the new Destiny 2 reveal. It's about Forsaken, the DLC. We'll bring player base back and stuff like that. So that's basically what we're going to be going off of today. As all four of us have played Destiny, me and Taylor will be the veterans of the Destiny. Sinan played Destiny 2 from start to.
Whoa. I grinded the shit out of that game.
Okay.
Yeah.
We all grinded the shit out of that game.
You don't
So
have the only
like
novice
1,000
here
hours.
is me. Sinan,
You don't have 1,000 hours in
fucking-
D1.
we have me and Taylor have 90 days in Destiny 1 and then another 15 in Destiny 2. Either way.
Who's the most in Destiny 2?
Huh?
Who's the most in Destiny 2?
Taylor.
Oh, damn.
Taylor.
No, I think you guys did.
No, I think you were at 98 and me and Tyler were at 90.
In D1.
Yeah,
You guys
D1.
have more in D2.
Oh, D2 I had the most.
Oh, okay.
Followed by Sinan. Sinan had second.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I would have thought Sinan would have been one of the top two for D2.
I had 10 days. Sinan was sitting at 9 last time I checked.
Jesus Christ.
Think about that.
Probably
Either
at, like,
way,
You took 9 days of your life and you put it in front of a TV.
well, think about D1.
I put 90 hours of
You
my
took 3 months out of your life, dude.
3 months.
It's 3 months directly infused into fucking Destiny.
Besides the point. So
See?
let's get this started. So essentially what we're going to be doing for this episode is I'm going to be showing you guys the trailer. We're going to be pausing it throughout the trailer and talking about what we're seeing. At the end, we'll talk about if it's on bringing the player base back and stuff like that. So let's jump right into it. Let me switch over to the trailer and let's watch it.
Yes, let's.
We have this opportunity that we wouldn't have had years ago to ship a game and then really collaborate with people outside the studio to figure out what is the best version of that.
Honestly, yeah, we're building something the community has been asking for, and it's accumulation of everything that we believe the game needs to be.
The upside to that is we're not holding anything back. All the feedback we've heard for the last year is this is it. It's in Forsaken.
Okay, so that's kind of the first part. Essentially, they're just saying that we've listened to the community feedback and this is it. This is everything you guys been asking for. Do you believe them?
Yes. Put it bluntly.
Eh.
I mean, I don't know. They do a great job. They really do. I mean, but they just don't do enough.
I mean, Bungie in every game they do, I think hits it on the nail. Obviously Destiny 1 was such a huge hit, and I mean, when they say they listen to the community feedback and stuff, it worries me because what community feedback are they listening to? Certain things.
Exactly.
Because what community feedback did you hear when they said take out tracing, rockets that are tracing? What was that? Take out heavy ammo sin. What was that community feedback? What some of the things that were taken out in D2 that were in D1, I just didn't understand, and I didn't know where along the line was that community feedback because I just don't think anybody wanted that.
But Bungie, I think, having not played Destiny 1, but having talked to you guys about it and having read all the stories and seen what happened with that, I feel like Bungie has a proven track record now of being able to take what can sometimes be negative community feedback and turn it back around with a big update like this. You guys always refer to the Taken King update in Destiny 1 and how it served a similar purpose. I think here, Mike, when you talk about, what feedback are they listening to, that's the problem you run into when you have a game this big. And that came off the heels of Destiny 1, which at the end was successful. Now you've got so many people with an opinion here. And in a game like this, at some point, those opinions are going to disagree. It's not like a certain genre of game, like a sports game or something like that, where there's an objective core to the game that everybody can agree on. That if something's out of place, you're going to find consensus here. Now, because people saw the success of Destiny 1, everybody's got their own idea as to where this can go. And you're right, you've got to wonder how, if at all, are they distilling that down. Because, with this trailer we're going to see here, they had a ton of stuff.
Absolutely.
I have
it's
two reasons why I think. Number one, because this feels just like Destiny 1's kind of road. It started slow. It picked up with House of Wolves when it came in the spring. And then in fall, we got the big Taken King update, which completely revamped the game. Number two is the roadmap they gave us. It listed every single update, but not only every single update, it also gave us what they're doing in those updates, what's coming in the updates.
Which is true. So, and we're going to get to that. Let's keep this going. I don't want to stick too much on one point. We're only 30 seconds in. It's a 9-minute trailer, so let's keep going. And
I didn't realize that.
We're going to be here all night.
We want this release to have a different tone and a different vibe.
We sort of just embrace that Western revenge vibe.
You're going to a darker place. You're going to take on a different role as a guardian.
A barren landscape with like the asteroid vibe with like tumbleweeds. And that just sounded cool.
Grit, man. Want to bring the dirt back.
And what better way to start a story than to start it with a prison break?
Right.
Cade's been filling this prison with bad guys that are really bad. And so when it breaks, things can happen to all the world.
Okay, I'm going to stop it again real quick. And the reason I stop it, there was 2 big points in that. It's a Western theme that they're trying to go for, is what they said. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I don't think that's, like, awesome. Like, I don't think that theme's great. I don't think it's bad. And when they said prison, I think Prison of Elders. I wasn't a huge fan of Prison of Elders, so I have a couple issues with that.
I don't know. I feel like, they could talk themes all they want, but at the end of the day, I'm just concerned with execution. If it ends up being a decent story, I could care less what theme they use.
Okay. Sinan, how do you like the Western theme?
I think they do great with all of it. They make them all look good.
Okay. Taylor?
I'm not too concerned about the theme. I think if it plays good, it's not going to really matter what it is, as long as it's enjoyable.
Absolutely. All right. Let's keep it going.
First place you're going to go to is the Tangled Shore, which is a new part of the reef that you've never seen before.
That's right, my friend.
It's a collection of lashed together asteroids and rocks out in the asteroid
It's
belt.
very otherworldly, and it's full of
pirates and assassins and
bad guys.
thieves. It's become a lawless place. It truly is a frontier. It's completely taken over.
The most malevolent force there is the Scorn. They're very aggressive. They're always going to charge and push you.
The Barons are the top dogs in the Scorn, and each one has gone back and committed nefarious crimes.
I think of it as
This
the
is
reverse
looking very
Magnificent
Fallen.
Seven, like the worst of the worst.
Yeah,
You are
I was
hunting
thinking
down
the
these
same
different
thing.
Barons. In fact,
Very
I call it
Fallen
Baron
based.
hunt. So one Baron is a sniper, and you have a sniper versus sniper battle with him. Another Baron is this big, giant, hulking melee character.
One of the things we're most excited about is the new weapon
characters
system.
don't
Hey,
look-
if you like Destiny 2,
they don't look the same. Like the enemies, it looks kind of like a new breed. Like
That's what I was going to say.
different.
Yeah, it looked.
Yeah.
It's I don't know too much about all the different factions and stuff like that, but it seems like they're going for some new enemy archetypes here, which I feel like is a
Which,
good
I
area
mean,
for
I-
change.
We got Frozen.
Frozen
Hive.
Hive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And see, that was my problem with Destiny. They're always just there's so much room that you can push with and boundaries that you can push with people, with anything, with enemies that are attacking you. We don't have to see the same 3. I feel that it's just constantly they're trying to make variants of the enemies they already have. I think that they need to push for like new exciting things, and I think this, it kind of look, I mean, it's still variants of already seen enemies, but I think they're trying to deviate a little bit more than we've seen in the past.
Well, I think like they're trying to protect the lore, but nobody fucking knows the lore unless it's like, unless you read like the Grimoire cards, you know?
Yeah. See, I literally don't know any of the lore. I don't know any of it.
Other than the storylines that's presented to us, like I don't know what's going on in the background.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're like one of those like huge like Destiny con, like Guardian Con people and like fan art and stuff like that, like you're a huge part of the community that you're there every single day and you're reading the forums, you're doing that, like you don't know the lore behind it, and like I understand that I don't expect anybody to know the lore. I'm a huge Destiny fan. Like I said, we've had over 100 days of Destiny's played combined, and I don't know how, like I'm still confused about the story a little bit. So I mean, it's just like,
but that's the thing though too. You know, lore aside, it can be a new faction. It doesn't have to have lore behind it already. You can make a new faction and build the lore as you go along.
Right.
I mean,
Exactly.
Lest we
And
forget,
that's what
in
I'm
Destiny
saying.
1, all these were new. The Hive was new. The Vex was new. We'd never seen
I
it
was just told in a mission the other day that the Orcs has another son. Like yet another son. Like what? Since when?
like how long is this family tree? I want to know. Ancestry.com, this shit. Like, all right, let's keep it going. Oh, yeah, no, but I agree with that.
Great, play that way. But if you like Destiny 1,
600 light.
Great, play that way. But if you're crazy, why not 3 shotguns, right? Just for the fun of it.
We need to have
that's a huge move. I like that.
We need to have people fighting about it. Like, no, man, you up. You're taking the wrong weapons. Or
Christ, just give me 1,000. I'm so
Bigger the gap, the more tangible these
Randomables are coming back. Every single weapon is going to feel different when it drops, and we're improving the mods.
So I'm just gonna skip a little bit ahead here because this is where they just go into how the weapons feel different and stuff like that. Actually, I do want to watch it because there's a couple of points I'd like to make during this. One thing he says in particular that I feel is very important to point out, and like a lot of people did not see and not hear originally in it. But 600 light is awesome because that's just more grinding. Like that's just something that's long term. And I hope it's not easy to get to that. I hope it takes months to get to 600.
So real quick though, when they say random weapons, like what stats are gonna vary in terms of weapon feel? Like is it just damage that's gonna change, or like what, you know?
That's the question. And here's one thing that I've always wanted from Destiny, and I'll just make this quick so we can keep this video going, is the 600 light's cool. I want to make it super hard to get because you see all these games like World of Warcraft and all, like every game, like RuneScape, whatever you played, you see light level. And like Sinan, you can like vouch by this. If you see, like when you join the game and you see someone, oh my God, he's 600 light, like,
yeah,
wow.
You want that to be a symbol of power, not everybody.
It's something impressive. I'm not sure what you were when you played RuneScape, Sinan. I mean, you took it pretty seriously, and I'm sure you were...
No, yeah, I was max level.
Max level and stuff. Not a lot of people get that. There's not a lot of people that see that. And I think that's important in a game, that not a lot of people are seeing the highest level. If you are the highest level, you are a true grinder of the game, and I like that.
See, what I just didn't like was how easy it was in the Destiny 2 when I played with you guys, of how quickly we got to 305. I mean, it took a little bit, but we got there.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little too quick.
That took us from September to, I want to say December, like to get all the way there.
That, yeah.
The solid chunk of time.
We didn't play every single day for like 5 hours, though.
Yeah.
And see, that's important because Destiny is one of those games that you can grind that long and not get bored. But so you need to make the game extremely more grindy. Like I need to be able to do 3 strikes before I get a chess piece 1 light level above what mine is now.
Yeah,
like,
so
it
that's
needs
what
to be
we
super grindy.
To build on what you just said, like the more grind, the better. But one thing that I think is going to be helped by this, and I won't get onto it too much until we get to that point in the video, but like with that whole collections thing, they come out and how they tell you how to get things. The more grind, the better, but also targeted. So now, as you have all of these more activities, you don't have to grind everything. You can grind for what specifically you want. It doesn't have to be easy to get that either. So if you want a particular gun, you get it by getting strikes. You grind strikes. You can grind public events. Whatever.
And I like that, and we'll get to that more.
Yeah,
and I was going to compare that to Division, because if you knew what chess piece you wanted from Division, you knew if you wanted to run Lexington, you knew if you wanted to run this, that, and I did like that. But we'll get to that in a second. Let's keep this moving along. They are talking about
you customize your weapon
weapons.
the way you want it.
We've got a whole new masterwork style system coming together where you actually are able to kind of move your levels up over time. And so there's investment back on the weapons again.
Investment back on the weapons, which is cool. I like that.
New supers, yeah.
New supers.
Crazy new
What's
supers.
your favorite?
Fire knives are awesome, which is a different take on Golden Gun.
We took a lot of inspiration from Rise of Iron. Cast that thing. You got a huge hammer now. And you slam that thing down, and it sends out this fire in front of you that then creates a fire tornado. We got to take it to the next level, you know?
The idea that anyone who plays, however they play, they're going to have some new way to engage.
Yeah.
I'm in love with the new Void Warlock. Teleportation,
like
it's like
that.
super anime, just like
We've been having great games with the Arc Warlock.
basically cast this thing, he pulls back. Yeah, and it's gonna break the game, and I think that's amazing. Yeah.
Okay, I want to stop there. He just said, and what pissed me, he goes, it's gonna break the game. He just said that about the Warlock Super. What? And he's like, I'm so excited about it.
Well, I don't think he means it like we normally
No,
do.
I think he does mean it, because what I just saw in that video looks like Super Saiyan Dragon Ball Z crap.
He looks a little conniving there where you paused.
I thought Goku. I thought I was just watching Goku. And like, I'm not like a Dragon Ball Z guy, but like, is that not what it looked like?
Yeah, no, it looked like that.
I mean, that was in this. Look at his face. Look at this guy's face. He just knows that, because he definitely plays as a warlock. As a hunter, I do like two things that I like. One thing that I saw, actually, I like with arc staff that you can now deflect bullets, because I felt like you were a little too easy to kill while you were in your super. I do not like
that little what's it called? Little twitch thing he did.
The teleporting, or
yeah.
Well, that was
pretty
for
cool.
warlock.
Of course it is.
Of course, because they have blink, and as a hunter, okay, they got rid of our blink. They didn't get rid of invisibility, but they nerfed the shit out of it. And now they're like, oh, let's make a variant of Golden Gun with throwing knives. Like, I'm not excited about that. Like,
Did any of you guys use Blink? I felt like I was the only one who used Blink.
yeah,
in
you're
D1.
really the only one that used blink, but like, blink was such a strong tactic. Like, blink, if you were good at it, you were a beast with it.
I think you guys said how they nerfed hunters. I remember you talking about that for a while back. You'd think they'd have gotten the bulk of the.
I mean, I just
you know.
I just want one DLC where hunters are the master class. They finally get something. Like, we don't have the grenades that warlocks do. We don't have the melees warlock and titans do. We don't have all these like special features. I mean, we don't need them because we're the master class, and I mean, we're the most skilled players. Sinan, Taylor, and me being a hunter, Joe being a badass titan, but
Because she's told me to make a titan, damn it. Anyways.
Whatever.
I'll be honest with you, Warlocks are definitely fun as shit.
Exactly. I mean, they're all fun to. Warlocks and Titans are definitely more powerful than Hunters. Hunters are definitely underclassed, and I mean, I might be biased saying that, but like
they just
I
have
think
so
that,
much more utility, I think, than a Hunter. Like, besides the tether.
Like we get mobility, but like now Warlocks can be maximum mobility as well. So that's not going for us. We used to have invisibility, but now they nerfed invisibility, so we're only like 2 seconds in. Like,
there's only like 1 or 2 ways to get invisibility.
Yeah, and it's just I don't know. I feel like Hunters have always been under whatever.
See if I can real quick in regards to this.
Warlock privilege.
The main, right. The main issue I have with this is, and I'll compare it to the Division just for example's sake, is when like you can make multiple characters per account in the Division, but there's nothing inherently different about them. they're all capable of achieving the same things. That you can make them have different builds, but they're all equal from the start. When you have something like this, where you can make multiple characters, but you have to pick a branch on that skill tree right from the beginning, there needs to be an importance on making sure that every one of them are worthwhile.
Absolutely.
Because you want there to be an advantage to speccing into all of them. Because again, that's more to do, more grind, that keeps people playing. Now you don't have to have just one character. Like you can't just have a Titan. You want to have a Warlock. You want to have a Hunter because they're all useful in different situations, and depending what raid team you're with, who you're playing with, etc.
And I mean, a lot of people do play all three characters. I did want to just point out, when you see a Hunter because they drink a full gallon of water every day, as you just saw with Sinan a second ago. You saw that full gallon of water come out. You saw the gains. Hunters just get gains. That's just plain and simple. That's just facts. Let's keep this going a little bit.
Hey, Mike, what do you paused at?
Huh?
What time?
I'm paused at 4:02.
4:02. Okay, hold on one sec, because I lost you there. Okay. All right, I'm good.
The face on that guy is too good.
Yeah, he's a little deceiving, this guy.
That's a great one.
We also wanted a new weapon.
Oh, here's the new bow they're going into.
We came up with a bow and arrow, which seems kind of crazy, but when you use it, you feel like godlike.
It is utilitarian, it's fantastical, it's also sci-fi.
So we have a short range bow, we have a medium range bow, we have a long range bow. We built this guy, who's like supposed to be super techie.
Yeah.
Dang, I want to use it.
You're like, why would you ever choose a bow in a game that
want to
has
see what it's gonna
automatic, machine gun?
If it's gonna be a heavy,
it's deadly.
I mean, that's a nice machine gun you got there, buddy.
Cool. It's just they have to
right, and
just
and
like
then
the
it's
classes,
done.
give people a reason to use it. Make sure it's balanced enough to where it can compete with
the biggest thing for me going into production on this game was like a new way to play, a new thing to do that like is new to death.
And so they're about to go into a new thing, but I just wanted to touch on the bow really quick. The bow seems cool. It seems like a cool idea, and I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a secondary, if anything, maybe a primary, because they're comparing it to auto rifles. I just hope they don't I hope it's a 2-shot body, 1-shot headshot. Like, I think that's the only way it's fair.
I feel like that's what it would have to be in order to be practical.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's dependent because they also said there's a short, medium, and long range one. So I kind of want to see what the shotgun bow is going to be like.
Need a rapid fire bow.
Yeah, a little rapid fire bow and arrow bullshit, but okay. Let's keep it going, boys.
Let's see what we've got.
We want to be
looks like Hero a little
give
bit.
players what they want, but also surprise them.
Gambit is a brand new
who is
mode.
Destiny begs to marry PvE and PvP together.
It's like adding bacon to peanut butter and jelly.
He's the Gambit guy, or Gambit, whatever.
You start off being able to see the other team that you're going to compete against, so you can taunt each other, you can emote.
Each team is in their own separate arena, and they're being assaulted by combatants.
They're dropping motes for you to collect, you bank them.
When you put them in your bank, you're going to send a blocker over to the other side. That locks their bank down. They can't put motes into it until they take out that blocker.
What the hell
Filling
was
up
I
your
doing?
bank with the motes is how you summon your primeval.
So-
you burn it down, that's it. Round's
So
over.
essentially it was something
The interesting part is that we allow one person from your team to go over to the other side and physically invade. I mean, I've seen people that just hate PvP. Like, the first time they invade and they get multiple kills, they'll come back and they'll be like, suck it! It's awesome.
Alright, so that's Gambit. So essentially they combine the PvE and PvP together. So it's essentially seems like Prison of Elders. Same sort of thing. Little different mechanics though. And then it also allows you to go and kill the people, which is kind of interesting just because of the fact I'm going to be focusing so much on ads, I feel. I'm not going to notice the stupid guy busting into my cell or whatever I'm in and shooting.
That's exactly the comment I was going to make. See, this, for me, this is the Division's Last Stand flipped on its head. Where in that game mode it was PvP was the focus, you're fighting other people, but you could go and kill AI ads and get like certain little point bonuses that would help you in your score and your squad, etc. Now with this, it's flipped, and PvE is the focus and PvP is the subtext. And it's interesting because based on our experience in things like Crucible, it's a lot easier to kill other players than it is to kill ads. There's a balance issue there that that's going to come into play when you have people invading the other people's bases.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be able to kill you a lot easier than those ads will, unless they scale it correctly.
Absolutely.
So it's a little risky. It's interesting. It could be a lot of fun, but again, it's how are they going to execute this?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, we'll just kill them.
I mean, superior fire team, and it looked like it was 4v4, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, it seems like that's what they're trying to go for with a lot of things. So, 4v4. Let's just leave it at that.
We leave the raid team alone. I mean, if you can't tell, like we
Very
just
good. Leave the
do their
raid
own
team
thing.
alone.
We have Joe over there.
For this next raid, we wanted to get back to the epic adventure where you're going out to slay a big monster again. This raid has more bosses than any raid we've ever had before, and we're really excited to get players in there.
The raid is actually about more than just the raid. It's about the dreaming city, the place that the raid exists.
Crazy.
And it's an in-game destination that we've never done
A
before.
city.
It's the awoken
Absolutely
homeland.
I could talk about the dreaming city for hours. It's like if the Vault of Glass
Bro.
and Dreadnought had a baby.
They were like twins.
Yeah, that's actually more accurate.
Yeah, they're like twins.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
had twins,
Yeah.
and then you took those twins and you put them on the doorstep of Peter Jackson, raised them as his own, and then that's the dreaming city.
Boom. All right, we're gonna stop it there. New raid looks.
New raid. There it is.
I would pay for a new DLC just because of a raid. Especially when he says VOG and King's Fall, like twin. That's awesome to me. Those were two of my favorite raids. I'm still a little upset that I did not get Vex.
See, but one thing about I think King's Fall raid was so fleshed out, like story-wise beforehand too. Like I knew exactly what I was going in to do. Like, it made the raid like that much better. I was like, okay, I'm gonna fight orcs now, who I was chasing the whole like story.
And you know why he's taking King now and stuff like that.
Yeah, there was a good antagonist, which made the raid better, I think, from a story point of view too.
Absolutely.
Which, you know,
I mean, I hope it's more like I liked King Fall because it's a lot of jumping puzzles, and I liked VOG because it's puzzles. I like puzzles when I'm playing. I don't necessarily need a boss battle. It's more boss battles than ever, and like it's gonna be a long raid, and I love that. And I want a lot of jumping puzzles in between. Like when I'm going to one boss, I want jumping puzzles. I want like things I need to figure out.
Yeah,
like,
so I love that. Like all those ones in the raid we just did with the where we ran around the room. We had to shoot like things. Like that shit was fun.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That I felt was the strongest point of the raid. That's what differentiated. Like especially someone like me who's coming from the division, where like that game and many other aspects of the looter shooters basically just point and click to delete NPCs. That's what made those activities stand out. Is now it's no longer just shoot at the enemies and kill them, because now you have to fucking stand on the right plate and shoot the 3 signs in order to get the guy through, to put him to the portal so he can put the orb in the middle, and then you can shoot at the guy.
Exactly.
That's the whole point of those puzzles, and that's what makes it fun, you know?
And one thing that like they go into, I'm pretty sure in just a second, and I won't go into it too much because they will go into it. One thing I've always wanted in a raid that just would make a raid so good for so long is just a little different variant every like 2 weeks of it. So in King's Fall, Taylor, you would remember the like little maze that you had to go through that you couldn't see too well. It was dark, and there was like a little maze that you had to go through.
The platform, yeah.
In order to get to what was his name? Gorgoroth, I think.
Yeah, it was the chest for him.
Yeah, so like if they just change up the way that you have to go, like that would be, it's just I feel like it would be like an easy thing. I'm not sure how easy. I'm not a programmer. I'm not whatever. But I think just changing certain little things so it's not so mechanical. It's not so systematic every single week.
I like being able to explore. Like
yeah,
I like
exactly.
I like going in the sewers, like underneath the
Leviathan and shit.
The Leviathan, and finding the matching the keys and getting the chests.
Stuff to do after the raid as well. Like that's awesome, I think. And
Mike, what you just said too, like, you know, having little pieces of the raid that change, like maybe on a weekly basis or whatever. Like for someone like me who is not very good at the game, the raid is super hard to wear. I'll probably only beat it once or a couple of times, but you've got to figure there are a lot of people who will play Destiny, and like any other activity, it's going to get old if it's the same thing every single time. At some point, running the raid and getting the loot becomes routine. So if you can have little bits and pieces that change, now there is no set strategy. Now you have to learn.
Exactly.
Like it'd be like if in the regular raid, maybe I don't know, like the room with the dogs that you have to kill. Like if that room was big enough to where they ran different paths every week.
Stuff.
See, what I wish
that would be
to make it better was instead of like we know when we get L1 we're getting R2 or when we get R1 we're getting L2. I wish that was not a thing. I wish it was just random every time.
Yeah,
you get L1,
absolutely.
R1 or whatever.
And it goes back to Destiny 1 when you guys didn't play too much, but Destiny 1 we were running 5 raids in a week every week, just in like an hour.
We had VOG, Crota, Kingsfall, and God, what was the last one? Siva.
Warmind, whatever it was.
Siva.
Yeah, Siva. So I mean, it was just so it gets so systematic. You just run it an hour. All right. Well, we finished 2 raids tonight. Tomorrow we'll do 2 other raids. Tomorrow night we'll do the other raid. It just becomes too systematic. So I think they go into, and I'll let them say it before I'm like acting stupid and I'm just rambling on about something that's not even happening. But I'm pretty sure they go into.
I like the Wrath of the Machine thing they did with when they did the code,
binary and stuff that you
the
had
binary it's crazy, but it's like
it was
cool.
fun reading about it. It was very fun reading about it.
Yeah,
it gives people something to think about, and it gives some people like, okay, well, they're thinking so far outside the box. We have to think so far outside the box. That's what I like crave in Destiny, and that's why VOG, Kingsfall were so good to me. It was a lot of puzzles. Let's start this back up, boys.
Magical and weird and mysterious.
It's designed to be a destination that has puzzles that you need to solve.
A lot of hidden corners, lots of passageways that might not seem to exist the first time.
Exploration.
And the raiders, they affect this destination. They change it for everyone.
It's like this cyclical endgame place where there's just secrets and different activities that unveil over time.
So the Dreaming City that you see at launch is not going to be the same Dreaming City 2-3 years later.
What I do like about the land, it looks like it has a little bit of everything.
Dude, that ultimate, that's cool. I think it's dope.
How will the community react?
Players want their investment
just
in
like
Destiny
exploded, like the Super
to matter,
Saiyan shit.
and they want to be able to see that reflected in the content.
We knew we wanted to do something for the collectors in our game, so we built a feature called the Collections. It's a way for you to track all the items that you can go out and acquire.
There's so much here in our game. There are 2,000 items you can get. Go get them.
You can look at sets and you can say, I haven't filled out this set. What do I have to do to go get it?
Perfect. Let me just let him say the 2 seconds that I just paused.
I want to find like how many guns in the world. I can actually go look now.
We also had a try.
Okay, so that's perfect. One thing that I always wanted was a way to track. I wanted every gun in the game. I wanted to see, but my vault space. Let's cap that out because why? But anyways, I'm not going to go into that. But now it's just a way that I can see if I have every gun. Oh, I've had that gun before. Oh, it's the new meta. I've had that gun in the past. Let me go see if I did actually. And it's just a way so I can see what I've had and what I've accomplished in Destiny. I think that's awesome. I think it's an awesome way to do it. And what Joe was hitting on was now I know what I have to do in order to get that. And that's super important in the game because, Taylor, how's God of War?
God, boy.
Well, no, I'm saying the shader in D1.
Oh, dude, you have no idea.
What Cryptarch rank were you?
Dude, I was literally 100.
Yeah, I think you were 150-ish. Like you were insane. I was I know I was 100 and you were way above me. Are you kidding? And I don't get God of War?
Yeah,
I don't get a certain shape.
Well, let's talk about Vex. Let's hit a sweet spot here.
I've only done the raid 86 times, so there's a certain percent that I had a huge argument with Bungie, and they basically told me to go fuck myself because I didn't get Vex yet. But that's a different story.
It's difficult because at the end of the day, you're talking about drop rates and nothing's certain, right? So when in these collections, when they say, okay, go play strikes to get this gun, you have to know you're playing a looter shooter. So by playing a strike, you have the best chance of getting that gun. That does not mean you will necessarily get that gun, but it serves two purposes. Number one, like Mikey said, it's for the collectors, for people who want everything. This is how you look and see what you've got and what you need. For people like myself, who may not know exactly how to get certain things, or may just want to try to get whatever's meta or whatever can help me compete in the raids or whatever, now I can target what I'm grinding to get that stuff first, and then use that to get other stuff later on. It allows you to pick and choose, because I think they mentioned in the video, over 2,000 items. 2,000 different pieces of gear.
See, the one thing I don't like about that whole looting thing is I love it. I think it's cool that it's like by chance to get it, but I hate when you do like 100 whatever strikes, and then some noob that like doesn't even know about the gun or is kind of just playing gets it in like 2.
Vex.
Yeah.
Like
Vex.
It is RNG though.
That's,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
like,
the beginner's luck,
Vex.
RNG, whatever you want to call it.
I have done VOG, according to Bungie, 86 times or something, and I never got Vex. I'm just throwing that out. I didn't get Vex year 3 or whatever it was either. I'm a little salty about that. I deserve a Vex, but whatever.
You see, but it like even then it like mildly kept you like playing to an extent, and it's like okay, this is still worth something in the back of your mind.
It's tough because
it's funny because I would still go back to D1 in order to get Vex if I had a raid team.
You see what I'm saying?
See, it's difficult because they have to strike a balance between that type of stuff. Where, like Mike, you said, you want it to be difficult. You don't want to get to 600 right away.
86 times, I think, is enough, though.
At the same time, you don't want to make it to where you're playing so much, and like now, like 90% of the engrams you get aren't going to help you. They're not powerful enough to advance you at all. And then the problem is too. Okay, so how can you counteract that? You can do it with lower drop rates, but then you have the problem of some dude walking right in, getting lucky, and walking out with the best gun in the game. So
and when I say grindy game, I want it to be more like a RuneScape, or I'm not sure how RuneScape works, so I'm not going to go there. Correct me if I'm wrong. Well, I'm saying like different armor
How much did you put into that? Like for like to get to 99 in a skill set, how long did it take?
Back in the day when I actually played RuneScape and like made YouTube videos on it, I was 99 everything, and it took like 3 years.
And
to get all that.
Yeah.
So like that's what I'm saying. I want gear that like, okay, well, I want my hunter to be more mobility, but mobility actually means something. So I'm going to start speccing him out and getting certain gear for mobility. Now it's like, oh, plus 5 mobility. Well, okay, I have plus 5 mobility, but how does that differ from someone who doesn't have any mobility? Because it seems like it's the same. I really have never noticed any difference in mobility, except when I used Mida. Mida's like the only time I ever noticed.
That's a great point. Like I can relate it to a topic that is none too popular amongst the other people in here, but like the
gear sets.
The thing about gear sets, again, balance and other stuff aside, there was a lot wrong with them. But the thing about them is they definitely matter. Where if you're running a different gear set than the guy you're fighting, it's going to change how that battle is fought. It may not change the results all that much. Again, credit to balance.
I need to be like the
that,
ESPN show where I can just mute certain people when they're starting to ramble on about something stupid like Division. Because this is the 3rd time you brought up Division now, Joe.
I don't mean to preach Division.
For reference to comparison, because this game could do that, but better. Like you just said, you have mobility, you have recovery, you have resistance and stuff like that. So make that matter. Give each gear piece of those 2,000 that you had, which again, that's
Sinan, in one word, describe Division real quick.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, that's a nice way to put it. Okay, let's get back going. No, Joe, we're done. We're done with gear sets.
You're cut off, Joe.
No gear sets.
Who gave you the opportunity?
It's a thing that can help you drive, like, hey, I want to do that. And if I do those things, I can get a title. Like, I can have a title floating over my name that says that I'm a god or whatever.
I don't like that blonde guy, dude.
Like you.
Big Punk. Come on, Big Punk.
We wanted Forsaken to feel like a game that never ends, so we're going to reinforce the hub and make the experience something that can be played night over night.
We're changing the weapon slots. We're changing
I was
how
just
the
fired,
pursuits work.
guys. So.
We're adding new features like the collections and triumphs.
Nobody just noticed a shotgun in a secondary slot. They're bringing that back. Please, Bungie.
Me.
It concerns everyone. Oh, let me switch this back. It concerns everyone. Do not make a shotgun meta. Do not make a shotgun meta, please.
You said then done.
Bring me back Found Verdict. But do not make a shotgun meta.
Severe, like option A, severely limit ammo, or option B, just dumb them down. Like for God's sakes, like differentiate PvE and PvP with them.
Yes,
because I can't. I love the gunfights I'm getting into nowadays. There's so many primary fights that I have, like with different weapons, and I'm happy with that.
There's not snipers everywhere. There's not shotguns rushing you all the time.
I'm happy to win or lose. Like
it comes down to the
primary.
aim. It comes down to aim. It's like Fortnite.
I'm just old-fashioned.
Shotguns.
Halo and stuff. I like it to come down to aim.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree 100% with that. 100%. All right. Let's get back to the video.
We've got a whole bunch of new weapons to chase, exotics that are really powerful.
We have Lisa focusing on some sweet exotic armor.
Exotics.
You got overboard, like dialed it too high?
Dialed it too high, that concerns me.
Ore to go out there and collect in the world, exotic armor pieces to go out there and hunt.
We're working on armor perks, random rolls, new mod system, new subclass pass.
We're making Forsaken for people
I just
who
love like that.
Making a game that we can all love. That is the goal.
That's why I picked the 100.
That's what we're going to constantly be pushing towards, always.
Everything we're building is through that lens.
Boom. And that's the trailer.
There it is.
Now,
solid.
I'm going to start with Sinan on this one. Because Sinan's the only one of us that has not gone back to Destiny after the dead phase of it. Or Destiny 2.
I mean, listen, dude, the game looks... I mean, the game was fun as shit. It's just... I was like, she was too long now to, like, want to get back into it. And honestly, it's the money. Because I just don't think it's worth $40.
And let me get into that real quick, because this is going to be the whole conversation right now, because when a DLC should never, ever, and I will say this, like, should never be more than the game itself. You are making it $70. That is more than I paid for the game, and you're making
how much they're making it cost? Has that been
70. 70 is the base.
Wait for this new DLC.
A new DLC is $70.
Wow.
Does that include like the season, like the?
No, if you want, there's 2 packages apparently, and it's
so they're treating this like a new game, like they did with Taken King.
Essentially, but they're increasing the price.
Yeah, I don't like that one bit.
Destiny Forsaken price, because what I've heard, there was a $100 one and there was a $70 one.
Well, let's see for sure before we do a
absolutely.
little fact checking here.
So Destiny 2 Destiny 2 second year costs $70. Here, everything that it includes. It will include fall slots with a new raid, new enemies, new mode, plenty more. Okay, that tells me a lot. It's like those previous big expansions. Launches September 4th. You get I think you get another annual pass with it. With the 70.
Alright, so you're not paying, you have to pay even more for a pass. You get
But
with the pass.
I thought with this year 1 we got 3 DLCs anyways. We only got 2.
That's what I was just about to say. That's the problem with doing it in this order.
I think I saw 1 and 2 only. Like I saw, like I remember seeing the Osiris, like the eye, and then the something blue, which I didn't know what it was, which is obviously Warmind.
Yeah,
I don't think I saw it.
I mean, I could be wrong on that. I was just saying. I think that's kind of a little bit stupid. $70, but
Well,
either way, even with do not make a DLC $70.
It's daunting for their customers, like to right off the gate, like for something it's still like considered. It's kind of back as a war mine, but it's not like completely back yet.
And
so go ahead and right away slap $70. That's
absolutely.
Like not easy to.
And for people who already bought the special version, who may have already bought the $100 version
and who
to
felt,
get that DLC, only to find out that the best DLC was saved for after that. I mean, saved, regardless, is now coming after that for an even bigger price tag. You can imagine people getting pretty upset with that.
I don't think people thought they would do that kind of road again, where they do a little bit like not so good, better, and then drop the ball.
I think everybody kind of figured they were smarter by now. And
we thought they learned their lesson,
and they would just go straight for the big money. And I thought, just make a great game right off the bat and not charge me a bunch of money for it.
I don't know why it has to feel like a revamp every single time.
But and another thing that I wanted to point out, it was the thing that they said we are working with a lot of outside groups now. It feels like Bungie's kind of giving up on Destiny and giving it to other people to work on. It doesn't even feel like Bungie necessarily is trying anymore. It feels like other outside companies are taking care of it now.
Well, I don't know if anyone else is working on it right now.
Well, they said at the reveal
they're with other developers like planning.
They said at the reveal that they are working with other people, so I'm not sure if it has any influence right now.
I think it's more like art stuff and like engine.
I think it could be more technical things. And,
it's not uncommon.
I guess there's nothing wrong with bouncing ideas either.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I agree with it. Bungie has always been great. So here's the question that really it all comes down to. Does it bring the player base back? Taylor, I'll start with you.
Well, the big one, I think so. But within reason, I don't think it's going to be huge. Like, Destiny 2 had so much hype around it. It even got, like, people like Sinan and Joe on the train. Like, I don't know if it has that much in it, but I think there's a lot of people going to come back because it looks good. I mean, it just does.
Even for that hefty price tag. I mean,
I don't know about for the hefty price tag, but still, that sounds like a lot for me. That's $70. Like that's no chunk of change. Like for a lot of people, that's a lot of money. That's more than a base game.
Yeah.
For a DLC.
That's not easy to spend, without some great incentive. You gotta like really show people what you're doing here, and you gotta promise like another kind of experience,
Absolutely.
But since they're giving basically a DLC pass with that, I guess that is supposedly justifying the price. But I mean, we won't know until those other two come out.
But do I want another annual pass? Because is it going to be 2 small DLCs again? Like, exactly. I could care less about Osiris and Warmind. They were like kind of Sinan?
But like after Kingsfall, real quick. But after Kingsfall, we got good ones like Moments of Triumph and these other ones that were like small updates, like spring updates and stuff like that were good. So we'll see.
Yeah. Sinan?
Honestly, dude, I feel like they would have gotten so many more people back, including me, if it was like $20 or $30, max even $40. But like $70, dude, why would I want to buy another game? More than another game. I just don't think it. I don't think it's worth it. And if I don't think it's worth it, and I make money, I can't even imagine kids that don't have money.
No, absolutely. Yeah. And that's they're trying to market it as like a new game.
Yeah.
I feel. They're going to try to market it as a new game. And we'll learn more about it during E3, which we'll be having reviews about and stuff like that.
We'll have to see the results of like public outcry.
Absolutely. And Joe, how about you?
Yeah, see, here's the thing, right? My opinion on this is $70, that's a lot of money. But I get completely that there are people who will pay that money.
Oh, yeah.
I personally, I don't think I will, because I was never that big into Destiny. There'll be other games later this year that get my money beforehand. But there clearly, very clearly are people who can look past the price tag, who know that this is their game, they want to completely spec into it, and if that's where they want to spend their money, great for them. Do I think it'll bring players back? Absolutely. I don't know if it'll bring everybody back. I don't know if it will bring as many people back as, say, Taken King did for Destiny 1, but it'll definitely help. It'll definitely help in the sense that, now Destiny 2 is what people wanted it to be from the beginning, but it's just like so many other games, man. I mean, Battlefront 2, even an example, when you have that base game fall down to the hype as much as it did, that hurts, and especially when you put a price tag after it, that there's a subsection of people, however small it may be, that just ain't coming back.
And I would say it will bring some back. What I think will bring more people back than anything is you have to make sure the Summit 1Gs, the lyrics of Twitch, are gonna enjoy that game, because they are gonna market your game like Professor Broman, Pink Italian, stuff like that. They're going to be playing it 100%, but they're not going to bring the fan base back, because if you watch them, you're already going to buy the game. You're already a huge Destiny fan. The lyrics, the people that get 30K viewers, the Doctor Disrespects, the Summit 1Gs who are talking about already going back to it. I will say right now, I will solely pay $100 for that raid. And I'm doing it, baby. I'm getting it, because that raid looks insane, and I will play that raid until the day that Destiny 2 dies completely and Destiny 3 is announced, because it is a trilogy, so there will be a Destiny 3.
Well, there's a year 3 still.
There's still a year 3, absolutely.
Life cycle.
So
wasn't this whole thing supposed to be like a 10-year thing from the beginning? That was how it was slated, right?
And what I wanted is they are mapping out updates and stuff like that. I want them to also map out the DLCs that are going to be coming and how big they're going to be, because if I'm going to pay that $70, I want to make sure that it's not going to be wasted like my extra $40 I spent on year 1 Destiny. But
problem is they go to the drawing board a lot, and
Absolutely.
I think that's why they're hesitant with those roadmaps, because they change things.
Like, if I get this, if I did get the $70 one, do I need that other $40 one to play this?
Good question. I don't think so. Maybe. No. I think what they're gonna do is market it like they did with Taken King, where it's basically you buy this game, you're gonna get all year 1 stuff, and you're gonna get the year 2 stuff. So you'll probably get everything, because I highly doubt, because year 2 they kind of separated the years, and they're like, well, if you start coming in year 2, then you can get the year 1 stuff, and you can catch back up to all the players that were already playing it. And I mean, it wouldn't take long to run through the 2.
Well, you know, solve that, Sinan. If you buy it, if you know what'll solve the problem is if you buy this one and you play with us.
See, like,
it was mad. I had to pay an extra $40 for like little bit.
Go fund Sinan at gofundsinan.com.
Help him out. Help a brother out, man. Support the talk show, right?
Listen, if everyone gave me $1, I'd only need 40 people to give me $1.
Hold on. We gotta zoom in on Sinan now. Let me get
some Sinans in the chat.
Can we get some?
Dude, I'm gonna make a GoFundMe, and it's just gonna be like me with like crying emojis on me.
Well, here we go.
Tears of a warlock. Bottled up.
Man.
I got your song playing. Please go help Sinan get Destiny Year 2. He's in dire need of it. Some say he will die if he does not get to play it. This is a very sad moment, and I hope your hearts are as big as your wallets, because you're gonna need it to.
I need money.
God, too
He's
much
reusing the greasy nitrate, which I will get to in just 1 second, because we are ending. We are at 53 minutes, boys. This was only supposed to be a 30-minute podcast. We went for a whole hour.
I told you we'd be talking for more.
Awesome. I'm very excited about that. That's awesome. So thank you, boys, for joining me. Hopefully one day we can have all 5 people. Anyways, I'm gonna retract my last statement that I made last podcast, saying that every Friday we will have a podcast, because as you can see, it's not Friday and we're still having a podcast. We're gonna try to do it as much as we can, but we're not gonna try to overdo it at the same time. And after E3 is over, we're gonna start deviating. So let me just try to give a schedule, and this is very rough. Just, I don't know if everybody's going to be down to do it and stuff like that. I will try my best to at least get a video each day of E3. So the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, those 4 days, I want to have a talk show at the end of each one, just to go in a little bit of a review. Those will be shorter podcasts, and they'll just be little reviews from all of us and what we think and who's taking the cake so far. And then after that, the talk show will kind of deviate from video games a little bit. And I know the one we're doing directly after E3 is gym etiquette. Sinan, you're definitely going to want to be present for that one. Repping the body.
Your boy don't know shit about.
I saw a kid dancing.
Well, Joe, that's a good. We need the outsider opinion.
I was gonna snap you to sit on. There was a kid with a shirt that was a little above his waistline, so you can see like his belly button, and he was like I'm pretty sure he was like salsaing.
I mean, Sinan's already repping the.
It was just like that.
He's giving you a little sneak peek of the podcast that's coming after E3, the gym etiquette one. Give him a little flexing on.
No, I can't, man.
Give him that YouTube show.
I can't, man. I can't do it.
Ooh, the flex is there, boys. Yeah, but that's gonna. So it's gonna start deviating from gaming a little bit, and we're just gonna have fun with it. That's what the whole talk show was supposed to be entailed for. To begin with, it was supposed to just be fun, like random ass topics, and that's what we're gonna do. I just love covering E3, and
it was supposed to start long before E3. It just took us so long to finally get it going.
So after E3, we'll start deviating a little bit. I mean, the main focus of this channel is still gaming. I mean, that's what we all love to do.
We're gaming nerds. What do you expect?
Exactly. So I mean, it's not like super gonna be deviant, but we're gonna have some fun conversations and some fun shit to do. And as the channel grows and shit, more segments and stuff. We'll have like Q&As and stuff like that.
The channel bulks up, gets those gains.
Also, let me just give a little shout out to you boys. Thank you so much for being here with me. I appreciate doing it. It was hard to get Sinan being the famous YouTube star he is. Go check out his YouTube channel. I'll put his link in the description below.
Subscribe.
Sinan the Sinan B. Great. Makes really good videos, like reaction videos and stuff like that. And give you a little plug-in right now, Sinan. Come on.
Thank you.
Give a little plug-in. Say what you're about.
Yeah,
speech.
I was born on a farm out of a cow.
Out of a cow, eh? Out of the udder?
No, but legitimately, he makes some awesome videos. One of my favorites is the Tom Brady kissing his son reaction video. I mean, we could do a podcast on that. I'm sure we will.
What do I get?
I think we should. I was gonna say. I think we should.
We'll have like.
What do I get?
He'll get brought up, I'm sure. It's just a bunch of different things. Sinan's a really good YouTuber. Go check out his channel. Like I said, his link will be in the description below. Taylor and Joe, they're not big on the streaming or YouTube, but who knows, that could be changing if this channel takes off. So hold on, let me play this again.
I can't make a YouTube. Nobody wants to hear about the Division all day.
If I ever stream my civil engineering job, I'll let you guys know.
Let me just
you can see my bridge progress.
Arms of an Angel's back on right now. One subscriber equals $1 for Sinan's contribution to the new DLC. One subscriber equals one hug for the girthiest man in all the land, Joe.
You can be the difference. You can be
the difference.
Let me have fun with my friends.
And it zoomed in right when you said that. Let Sinan have fun with his friends.
Yeah,
Please.
Well, don't let him be the Steven Glansberg. Just play Fortnite all by himself.
Just lunchroom alone.
Eating pudding all alone in lunch.
And one subscription also equals one hug for my good friend Mr. Stamp up in the corner.
Hello.
Thank you guys so much for the support. Again, look at this face right here. Look at that face.
Whose face?
Yours.
Oh.
Look at that face. How can you say no?
Only a mother could love it.
How? I'm making you big. Hold on.
Ooh.
Because you're small.
Get a lat spread there, Sinan.
Let me just get there.
Hold on. Where is it? There it is. Help this man out. Help him out. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you guys for being here with me. We will see you E3 weekend for some more awesome topics. Let me turn off this music so it's not a depressing ending. God bless you. Have a good night. Much love to everyone.